I got to say, not only, of course, coming down here Saturday morning, I thought, I haven't been down here before. And it was like an exodus. As I came into the car park, there was just hundreds and hundreds of kids. This was the, finished at 10 o'clock. There was you have it all day, really. But
we had 165 kids coming out of that age group.
Right.
It's kind of under 7s, under 8s, called Academy 1 and 2.
Right. Well, I'm thinking now, 1924 was the sort of, the beginnings of all this, and I'm guessing there's no way that Greystones at that point would have thought, okay, this is the population that's going to happen, and this is what we've started here, because this is just beautiful. And as you said, you're also down in Archfield as well.
Archfield, yeah. And you're merger with AFC last year.
Right.
So that's brought together both of the senior teams in the town, and obviously now we've all the juniors as well. So we've about 1,000 players.
Right.
Across 52 teams.
And the hope is now to build a second floor on this pitch here. This would be handy. Yeah, we can go up. Yeah.
With your help, if we can go. We might need a bit of help with the engineering,
We need some of those old school Wicklow County Council people who would get that sort of planning permission for you.
We'd be more than happy to have a few of them involved.
Love the sizes. We have a great aerial shot too, which people will see here. But yeah, we just wanted to get an idea from the point of view of your involvement now. You've been here for...
I've been involved for about 5 years.
Right.
Since my youngest kids got involved.
Nice.
So I would have been involved in Academy 1 and 2. I really can't kick a ball myself, so around the under 9s I gave up on that, but in parallel then I've been doing a bit of work on the website and the online registrations and payments and that kind of stuff, so it's very much a volunteer-led club.
Right.
I would have come in and there would have been people volunteering here. When I saw them, I thought they worked here, and then you're in looking for stuff and you're asking, why is my name on that list and how come I didn't get that email, and then they say, hey pal, there you go, you want to help out? So it's a bit like that.
It does seem to be a kind of, growing all the time. I mean, there is that sense that the population obviously increases in Greystones, as Andy just mentioned. There's going to be another 5,000 houses here, so that's probably going to bring a few more kids into the town. So it feels like I don't know whether you felt it even over those 5 years. This is bigger and bigger all the time, or?
Well, we're kind of growing in the region of 80 to 100 kids a year.
Right.
And we're pretty much at our peak now for the pitch that you see behind us, because with sort of the darkness, winter training times, you need a pitch that isn't going to get flooded and that's lit.
Right.
So pretty much we're at peak here. We rent a little bit of space up in Charsland during the winter months. We used a bit of Patrick's last year during the winter months, but then effectively you have kids going left, right and centre just to get their training in, and then obviously you need room for matches then on a Saturday and a Sunday. So the issue we need to probably resolve is, do we grow beyond 1,000 kids and find other locations and maybe get an investment like this behind us in another location.
Right.
This will probably cost about $750,000 to put in from scratch.
Holy.
And
right.
maybe 350 grand to replace every 10 years.
Right.
So there's a lot of cash required year on year then in a sinking fund to make sure we can replace it.
Come a long way from Darcy's Field.
Come a long way from Darcy's Field. You have some of the old pictures of Darcy's Field.
That's great. I remember.
Time.
Well, that'd be my time actually. Well, I never. My brother Declan, who's in Chicago now, he was the great footballer. I was just brilliant at everything else. But I would see he would be part of a lot of the activity like that. And just Darcy's Field was a regular kind of that was our sports centre. That big lump of land just down by the North Beach. Yeah.
So John Duncan, who you'll probably meet later on. John was involved heavily when, as he is now, when things were down in Darcy's Field. So we'll chat all about that. And we don't have them here this morning, but the guys from AFC obviously has a very rich history going way back to 1924, as you said.
Well, yeah, 1924. I think it was 1984. I got some of the notes from 1994 was the merger, which sort of there was two.
The schoolboys and the Greystones FC to Greystones United, and then just literally last summer we saw AFC and United FC merging, and Greystones United AFC. And I wouldn't be that familiar with the. Was there any kind of Man City, Man United rivalry? Was it always kind of fairly close, or? Not so much. I think I heard stories over the years. Maybe there were a few attempted mergers that didn't happen over the years, all before my time. But fortunately, good sense prevailed, and between our own chairman John O'Neill and the guys Patsy and John and others down at AFC, it was the right time to bring the whole set together. So we had a couple of teams in the Leinster Senior League. They had a team in the Leinster Senior League at a higher level, bringing the two together. It's brought, I guess, both clubs on in terms of the mix of facilities and the level of football that's being played, which is great again for the kids. If you look at Dundalk, for example, Dundalk and how they're doing in Europe at the moment, shows you what's possible in an Irish kind of regional team. So we'll say nothing. We're not headed for the Premier here in Ireland yet, but we're keen to go from strength to strength. But the great thing is the beauty of a game like football in particular is that you can literally play it out on the road. There's quite a lot of great
See you again,
Cheers,
Andy. Thanks a lot. There's a lot of sports that are wonderfully skilled and people are incredibly talented at from an early age. But you can kind of, with football, I've kids outside, the two Liams, I don't know their surnames, but they're constantly just kicking balls against the wall and each other, and that's a wonderful thing. Is it means that it's available to pretty much to everybody.
I mean, the entry level is low. I mean,
Right.
I think you covered the Charlestown Mini League.
Yeah.
And we had one up in Edengate before that in the summer. And here, obviously, there's a huge mini league here every June. I don't think you've been to see it yet, but between kind of end of May and early June, we'll have 400 kids out here over 7 different matches. So it's just an amazing kind of scene.
Yeah.
That's another thing that kind of, I think, more than myself, sucks parents in when you see the
Right.
kids, the community. Just a chance for people to connect with each other, I suppose.
Yeah.
And yourself, times have changed.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
people who've grown up in the country or in small villages, there's a bit of a village feel to Greystones.
And also, I think every town needs a lot of hot soccer moms to sort of keep, it keeps everybody
I
interested.
can make no comment on that. On the ground, I might incriminate myself when I get home.
No, we should have. We'll have the links here for people just to follow through on just investigating if their kids are interested in joining. We've mentioned the fact that you have a waiting list, but of course you get through these waiting lists and people do join. So in the upcoming season now, you have a match this afternoon, and would it be as it goes into September and October, November, as the winter sort of creeps in? Is it still a busy time?
It is, yeah. It's a very busy time because, well, at the moment, most of the leagues play certainly the schoolboy leagues play school time, so September through to summer. The
Right.
Dublin League just this year is playing during the summer, so
Right.
and it's a new phenomenon for us. So we'll have soccer going on all through the year with some breaks, maybe in July in the Dublin League, the Dublin Schoolboy League. The Wicklow League is still going from September through to June.
Wow.
So there'll be matches happening all the time, but winter into spring is always a busy time for soccer, traditionally anyway.
And there is, I would think, for a lot of the younger players especially, that sort of, that they're all looking for that Billy Elliot moment, that they all sort of, hoping someday they'll be another George Best. I mean, it's kind of got to be gorgeous to be around that sort of, love for something that they feel they're getting closer and closer to their dream, and a lot of them are playing it for fun, and that's the main thing of, a bit of exercise, but in any kind of sport like this, there's always just that chance that, holy moly, this kid is going to go somewhere.
And look, absolutely, and this club caters for all sorts. As I said, I can't kick a ball myself, full stop. We have our A teams, our Premier teams with some very handy players, and that goes all the way down to people who just enjoy getting out and kicking the football around. So we can cater for all that, and we're a family club. We're interested in getting kids out to play. Clearly, for those kind of top end teams, you need people who can do a thing. But everybody needs to get out and have a go. So as I said, our only obstacles here really are capacity.
Right.
With 1,000 players and the facilities we have, we're kind of topping out.
Right.
We've got about 100 kids on the waiting list. As you said, some reasonable movement in some of the younger age groups. The 05-06 kids born in 2005-06, those lists were static for about 2 years, and this year for the first time we've had about 4 or 5 come in off those lists, which is
great
to see a bit of movement. But that's purely down to the number of teams we can handle in any age group, because equally in a squad, every parent wants their kid to play when they're on a squad. So you can't overinflate the size of the squads either. Have a lot of kids on the sideline, or you're struggling to give them game time. So it's trying to get that happy balance.
Right. And if any kids are out there, we'll wrap up. If any kids out there like you can't play, they can always stand in the corner, hold a flag. We can always do.
Or they can help me with the website or the online
There you go.
Selling tickets, there's always something to do. Cooking burgers.